primarily you just want to focus on like making sure you get the subject, like you have to figure out who's talking in the scene
Hmm.
and focus on that audio and think about like what's the scene going to look like later, what is there anything you need to record for later, because I remember we
Hmm.
had I won't say anything because I'm sure you don't want
Yeah.
me to say any plot points
Yeah.
of the movie, but there was one scene where I was like, there's no, with the equipment I had, there was no way in hell I was able to get this part of the dialogue. So
Hmm.
it was like, can we get this like five times, and then paste it over.
Hmm.
So, and you just have to like try to like be in the moment and think out of the box like that, and always remember to get room tone.
I am Benjamin Vomastic, and today we are joined by Cale McClure. Cale was the sound recordist for Hometown Summer, and has been the sound recordist on a few other comedy features as well recently, including Ride to Nowhere and the Lifeguards. How are we doing today, Cale?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just got off the Mummy Film Festival yesterday at the time of recording this, and both of the projects I was involved with won their respective categories. So I'm like kind of riding that high a little bit,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
congrats.
so it feels good.
Yeah,
And they're
which films were those?
there were short films, and there was two different groups. One was The Dress, which
Hmm.
was um, I want to say like creatively spearheaded by the two actresses. Uh, oh my God, Lee Yenrick and Lisa Walton.
Hmm.
It's directed by Johnny Antonini, who I'm sure you know as the director of The
Yeah,
Lifeguards.
Lifeguards. Yeah.
Shot by Anthony Wright, Grant Beachy on lights, and then me doing
Hmm.
sound. That was like a psychological drama. I'm not sure how to describe it entirely without spoiling it.
Hmm.
I'm very happy with how that one came out. Um, and then the second one I did with my friends, with Charles Wetzel. I'm sure you're familiar at this
Yes, yeah,
point.
you
Yeah.
played Norb and
Yeah. Norb. That's
yeah.
right. And then my buddy, Brad, he told me how to say his last name. It's like Tomasian, I think.
Hmm.
I keep reading it as like Tummy Asian. Spencer Stematoles, and then oh man, I'm so sorry, I forgot his last name, but his name is Lucas. Was the other actor? It was a comedy called Getaway Driver, and the
Uh-huh.
whole premise was like the getaway driver that like follows all the rules,
Hmm.
all the traffic laws, and somehow gets away with it. And again, proud of that one too. I had two different groups and put out very solid work, and I keep good company, you know.
Yeah, yeah, right on. Did you do sound on both?
I did. Okay, so I did sound on The Dress. I acted in Getaway
Oh, okay.
Driver.
Oh, okay.
It would have helped if we had someone on audio. There were a couple parts in Getaway Driver where I think the microphone was behind me, but other than
Uh,
that, yeah, other than that, I pretty much nailed it. It's really funny. It's really good, and
oh, awesome.
I got a lot of praise for people that I just had like just met that day that saw it. So
Well, that's always amazing. Yeah, you need to send me a link to it when it's publicly available. I assume it's not
yeah,
publicly available at the
no,
moment.
yeah, none of them are. I think The Dress has been around for a year, but I think they want to do another festival run.
Uh,
It's because I don't know, it just didn't take last year for whatever reason, but that's
mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, for sure. So, what got you into the film industry then?
I mean, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I remember setting up a videotape camera, old AV cameraman, just in front of my Lego set and just going like this. And it's incomprehensible now, but it made perfect sense to me at the time. I had like old Star Wars toys flying, you know, so it goes back to that. And then I got back into it in high school, and then, but I never saw it as like a real job, like a career,
Mhm.
until I got into, I was like, engineering wasn't for me, so I went into graphic design. And when I got to like the video portion of the graphic design associate's degree, I was just like, nah, screw it, I'll do it. I'll make it a career. I'll try to make a career out of it.
Mhm.
So that's how I got into it, and it was tough because I graduated in 2020, but after Ride to Nowhere, and
Mhm.
especially after working on Eeny Meeny, that they shot the Fox project that they shot here at the casino in town.
Mhm. Yeah.
and meeting and just networking and meeting a lot of great people. I met the Getaway Driver guys there. It
Hmm.
feels like I've known them forever, and that was like what 4 months ago.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah. So it's just this big snowball effect that's gotten me here at this point. Just I can honestly say it's like yes, I have my film degree to thank, but also at the same time I have Anthony Wright to thank for like bringing me on and just like pushing me forward into
Yeah.
like all of these bigger projects. Like him, like he got me onto Johnny's film, and then that got me onto your film,
Hmm.
and now I'm taking it easy, but I'm doing all the short stuff I get invited to. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's a great story and got
Hmm.
a lot done in a short period of time.
Dude, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So could you describe what a sound recordist does on set?
Basically, you want to capture the clearest audio possible, and you want to make sure you get the audio of the subject in frame. So you got a conversation between two characters that are way over there. That's where the mic's going to be. At the same time, you also want to make sure that, uh, editing isn't hell on earth for the editor. So
Mhm.
you got to, room tone, you got to get the atmosphere. And, and now and then you just have to come up with like solutions to make it work, to move forward
Mhm.
and make it work, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So why is sound so important to film? Like what's something the average viewer probably doesn't understand or appreciate about the quality of sound in film, especially like the sound you get on set?
So just like editing, the the less the average person notices it, the better it is. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like it really takes like somebody that like understands the craft to understand like, wow, the sound design was insane.
Yes.
But the average person, they just like they focus more on the picture in front of them, and that's fine. You know, that's no problem at all. But my go to example for whatever reason always is like for bad sound design is Birdemic, because like the movie looks awful. It's like shot so horribly, white balance is bad and everything. And then the
Not familiar
first,
personally.
it's a people tried to make it like the next to the room, but
Oh, okay.
it's nowhere near as entertaining. But like the first line of dialogue is a woman uh behind a cash register, and she goes like, "I swear to God," it's like, and and it's like that's why you need good sound, because if yeah, because as soon as the sound doesn't like as soon as it's just like it hits wrong, it's too loud or it's screechy, it hits, it's as soon as like the average viewer notices it, you screwed up. So
Yeah.
right, so that was like I don't know why the Birdemic scene sticks out for me,
Hmm.
and just yeah, it's if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I know you don't, but anybody
No,
listening
I
might.
don't. I don't, but I do know that sound is debatably the most important technical aspect in
Hmm.
film. I mean, it's like if you had two choices, you could shoot a film on $100,000 camera and like get recording
Desktop
from like
microphone.
yeah, like just use the camera audio
Right.
or shoot a film on like a camcorder from 2008 but use $100,000 microphone. You do the second option every
I would
single
do
time.
second option every time, because
Yeah.
you look at like my buddies, homemade movies they would try to make in high school and stuff, just for fun. Let's make movies.
Mhm.
You just can't hear them. So, and
Yeah.
yeah, you can follow like yeah, you can follow bullcrap image all you want, but can I swear?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. You can follow bullshit image all you
Yeah.
want. You can make the shapes out yourself, but if you can't hear what they're saying, it's just what. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, it's not just hearing what they're saying. It's like clear audio, not like a ton of white. Like white noise will kill a film.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, like you really need like even like the audio quality of this podcast like would not pass for a film.
No, no.
Um, like the sound is just so important, and I
Yeah.
mean that's something funny. Like now that like I've actually started making films, that is something that I've resonated with. Is like I pay a lot of attention to the sound design. It's like that was like done so well, and like that's something like with Hometown Summer that like I'm really like going through in the edit and like just like marking up notes. Like okay, we should get like this here, here, and here, and whatnot. And like, oh, it would sound really cool if like we Foleyed in this,
Oh
and
yeah,
like all
yeah,
that sorts of things. Like, no one appreciates just how important sound is.
sure. I mean, it takes. Honestly, it's just like sound people recognize sound people. That's what I've noticed mostly. I've known there's always like one sound person. There's always one sound person in the BG program.
Mhm.
And I've noticed like this just the same. They notice the same things, all the same stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure. I think that that's a good point. Like,
Yeah. And
what you said like initially about like with how important sound is and like good sound, like it's good if the average audience member just has no idea. They don't notice
yeah, you
anything.
don't want
Yeah,
them to notice it,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
they'll notice a jump scare maybe or something. But yeah.
yeah.
Back onto real quick, back onto like white noise. Are you talking just like some digital error white noise, or are you talking about like a fan running in the background?
Yeah, like
S- uh,
that or like wind.
So yeah, okay, yeah, well, yeah, wind is a different thing altogether. But I actually there's actually so blah blah blah. Um, I don't know if you could call it white noise, but I remember when we did Lifeguards.
Mhm,
Uh, it was we were literally shooting the morning after 4th of July. Like it was July 5th. And I
mhm.
think the scene was them waking up after the 4th of July party with a hangover. That's
On
the
the
scene we
tennis
were
court.
shooting. And then we had, like, the country club just ran all of their lawnmowers at once since none of them were running the day before.
Yeah.
And after 10 minutes of pouting, I just realized it was like, this is room tone. This is room tone. And the fact that everybody has a hangover makes it even
Yeah.
better. So get a
Uh-huh.
like at that point, I'm not sure if it ended up in the film, but I was like, get a shot of the lawnmower running, keep it in the background, and we'll just have it. And there's probably shoot in order so we
Yeah.
can, you know what I mean. And
Yeah, for sure.
that's how it ended up working in the film. And the fact that they were all like had a hangover in that scene, really, that was lucky. That was just lucky. That's all that was.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No, you can definitely get lucky with films.
Oh yeah, yeah, really.
There are some like cool, like really cool, like unscripted moments.
There
You can
was
get.
Ride to Nowhere. There's a part where just coyotes were howling
Mhm.
right after, right before the line. Man, you picked one hell of a place to camp. It was just like, oh wow. Um, and then they cut. I didn't cut because I started hearing them yipping.
Mhm.
So yeah, Anthony's got all this audio of just like coyotes that we thought were about to kill us.
Yeah, it's funny. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to a beginning sound recordist? Say someone that's going to, they're just making a film with their friends. It's like their first short film. Say they've got like basic gear, like a Rode NTG. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, I know you got
Um,
it.
yeah. And like a Zoom H4.
I mean, I would even say like you get that equipment. Yeah, that's if you have that equipment already, great.
Hmm.
But even then, you could just the 48 we just did for an upcoming festival. We
Hmm.
did the whole thing just with the recorder. We
Hmm.
didn't attach a microphone to it,
Yeah.
and it was all we needed. At the same time, though, we just shot the whole thing mostly in a basement.
Hmm.
So that probably helped the factor. But yeah. With that, you just primarily you just want to focus on like making sure you get the subject, like you have to figure out who's talking in the scene
Hmm.
and focus on that audio and think about like what's the scene going to look like later, what is there anything you need to record for later, because I remember we
Hmm.
had I won't say anything because I'm sure you don't
Yeah.
want me to say any plot points
Yeah.
in the movie, but there was one scene where I was like, there's no, with the equipment I had, there was no way in hell I was able to get this part of the dialogue. So
Hmm.
it was like, can we get this like 5 times, and then paste it over.
Hmm.
So, and you just have to like try to like be in the moment and think out of the box like that, and always remember to get room tone.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But also on top of like if you want to pursue audio, this the thing I'm noticing and everybody else tells me is you really want lapel mics.
Hmm.
Um, that that would have helped in a lot of cases, especially with a two camera setup, which I was not expecting. So that was its own challenge there, but we got it to work from the sounds of it.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with how the sound is coming out.
Cool. Hell yeah, thank you.
Lapels, so like lav mics, like mics,
Mm.
like
Yeah, just like the clip.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, so like yeah, so someone that doesn't have that luxury, like they only have the one mic, or like they
Hmm.
even like just have like the Zoom H4 or whatever sound basic sound recorder they have, like yeah, like making things work. Like what advice would you give to like make to like with the constraints you have, just making sure that like you get the best audio quality possible.
Yeah, I mean, root tone, obviously.
Yeah.
Getting it just finding the action, finding the subjects, getting them, and then and then the other thing is like you don't always need to be shooting to you don't always need to be shooting to get audio. You can like pick up audio to put over the scene, like I mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
Um, I can't think of much else to say without repeating myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, I get the
you're
only reason
good.
I asked it again was because I was just trying to think like in terms because then you said the thing about like the lavalier mics. So I'm
Yeah.
like thinking about like if you would just have like the absolute like bare minimum, like
Oh yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
about like yeah,
You do what I did, man.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
I guess it's also just a thing of like getting the mic as close as possible, like without being out
yeah.
of frame. I assume is like the big thing, and like yeah, especially if you don't have a boom mic, like I'm sure you can get very creative with where you can place it.
Oh yeah, and like always be realistic and communicate with whoever the director or whatever the hierarchy is for whatever set you're on. Um, be realistic and be honest and say like it's like I got this over here. There's no way in hell I'm able to get that.
Hmm.
And then work a solution where you can get
Hmm.
that. So
Yeah,
and that's yeah, because
yeah,
it's a team effort.
yeah. So with your experience on set, I'm curious about like anything that surprised you, and just like the like most important things you've learned about being on sets. Maybe not
Taking
even
a minute.
super recently, but like you're just like the first projects you've been on.
Um. Yeah, because yeah, with Ride to Nowhere, and then like the one scene I did for Anthony's movie before that,
Hmm.
uh, just really being aware of the space because we shot a lot of scenes in like really tight houses, and
Yeah, that's
there
always
was
a
like
challenge.
yeah, there was you're the first house we shot in was very spacious. The second one was
Yes, that was
a
definitely the
little
first.
trickier, but
Yeah.
I'm talking like yeah, this was like either his like great aunt's house or something. I can't remember exactly, but
Hmm.
it was just like one specific shot. It was like I couldn't really do don't do that. I couldn't really do like a boom mic overhead because there's like a hanging. I don't want to call it a chandelier. It wasn't that fancy, but you know what I mean. And then there was a
Hmm. Yeah.
bag with a zipper on it, like down low. So I think ultimately we just like flipped the bag over. So
Hmm.
the zipper wasn't making so much noise. I don't know. It's just like weird. It was just weird what picks up. Like I said, that's my first project, so I'm just coming up with some really, really
Yeah. Yeah.
basic
No,
amateur shit.
I think that kind of goes back to like the previous question about like giving advice to beginners. Like I guess like also like being proactive about the
Yeah,
potential issues that could come up with, and
yeah.
I guess
Recognizing the
like
space.
how do you like yeah how do you take on that challenge like when you're in a really tight space, or like when you're like getting echo, or like any other sort of like thing that can come up with recording sound.
I hopefully just like find pillows, blankets, or get people standing around in spots.
Hmm.
Maybe even you can like use the light equipment to perhaps do whatever. That's
Hmm.
the other, I guess, another piece of beginner advice. I don't like you think of this because it's like automatic, but you want to listen to like the noise in the room. Like if there's air conditioning turning on and off, you're gonna want to turn that off. Which
Yeah.
we did that. One of the lights had a fan running,
Yeah.
but it was consistent, so it was fine.
Hmm.
Um, it just sounded like it was the AC, which a house with
Yeah.
AC isn't absurd. And besides, they're too, people are gonna be too focused on the dialogue to worry about that. Blah blah blah.
Hmm.
What the hell was I talking? What was the question? Just to put off.
Just like the initial question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
initial question was like about like the most surprising things you've learned from being on set and like the most important things you've learned.
Uh, I mean, I don't want to say it's the amount of people that like to make ASMR jokes whispering into your microphone, but that's the first thing. Is just like it's everybody does it. I've like I've gone 0 days with having somebody like whisper into my like saying like welcome to my ASMR channel.
Yeah.
No, surprises though. It's hard to say. It's you realize you don't notice how much the actors did this in one of the behind the scenes interviews. You don't notice how often planes are flying over until you actually need to start recording the audio.
I think that was me
So,
that said that. Yeah.
well, and then there's like pilots know when planes are flying overhead or whatever that
Oh
was.
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
right.
Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that was the most surprising. There's like the weird little stuff that picked up. I expected it to, but I didn't expect it to like happen as much as it did. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially the last day we were in that first house. It was just like truck, plane, truck, plane, truck,
Yeah.
plane. Where like
Yeah.
eventually I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go outside and just hold the mic out for 5 minutes and just work with that because
Yeah.
we need to get moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I asked the questions out of order because like now I'm like we're coming up with like a ton of different things for advice for beginners. Like
I also
really
ramble and yeah,
being proactive and thinking about
absolutely.
like if you're going to be outdoors, like going in with a plan. Because like yeah, shooting outdoors, I love outdoor shots and I include them in my scripts because I want to get like variety. I don't want to like be constrained to like just like one spot. And
Of
like if you
course.
have a location where you can go outdoors and indoors, like I want to use as much of the space as I can.
Yeah.
But it does definitely come, especially with audio, with unique challenges that you won't get from indoors. So like yeah, like you just need to like remember that like there are going to be planes flying over and like you can't use audio if there's a
Yeah.
plane flying over, like you just can't record then. And yeah, I mean, just like if you're going to be by like a busy road, like you're going to have to time it. Thankfully, like with roads, like there usually are like spurts where like heavy traffic and then like, okay, nothing for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And
particularly the park. I think there was just like a traffic signal that just like what
yeah.
you said. So
Hmm.
and even then, it's like unless there's a really loud truck going by, that's just noise. That's just like regular noise. It's not terrible to just
Hmm.
have like cars going past, right?
Yeah.
Like you learn like what's acceptable and like what you can work with. But yeah, when you get like no, can't use that. That implies that Bendy Arms is showing up in his orange Jeep or
Yeah.
whatever that car was. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've worked on a ton of comedy. I mean, you
Hmm.
did Ride to Nowhere, Lifeguards, Hometown Summer. Like you've done three features in such a short period of time, all comedy, which is pretty miraculous to me because I feel like we don't get a shit ton of features made in the Midwest
Yeah.
and comedies as well. So like I feel like you've like worked on like all of like the independent comedy features as of recently, like in both Michigan and Ohio. And I'm curious, like,
Yeah. Right.
is there like something that particularly draws you to comedy, or is it more so like you worked with Anthony and then like you said, like then that like led to you working with Johnny, which then led you to you working with me?
Yeah. It because I think yeah, because really, like, The Dress is the one, like, project I did sound for that's not a comedy, like,
Hmm.
at all. And I think it's just circumstance, you know?
Hmm.
I just hang out with funny people that want to make funny things.
Hmm.
And it's also, when it comes to, like, wanting to make a low budget feature, I want it. When it comes to, yeah, like when you have like make a feature on a lower budget, it's less demanding. Like I got a project where I need a prop where with like a mask that makes hot dogs, for like a short film. And
Hmm.
it's like imagine having to like do a feature around needing props like that.
Hmm.
That's some big money. That's so
Yeah.
like it was like a coming of age ensemble comedy for the Lifeguards, um, and same for yours.
Hmm.
It's pretty bare bones in what you need
Yes.
in terms of prep work. It's just like just make sure they show up with like a box of peanuts or something. That's just so easy to get. You know,
Hmm. Yeah.
so it's it's easier to do, and I don't mean that disrespectfly. But
Oh
hopefully you
no,
understand
no.
what I mean, like based on what I
Yeah,
just
no, I was
said.
actually I
Yeah,
talked about this exact same thing with Bill when we talked. I was
yeah,
just say that like the style of film that I like to make is just so convenient for this budget range. Like I'm
hmm
actually not making these like because of constraints. Like this is the genre I want to work in. This is like the
right.
only genre I have a desire to work in. But it just works out so much. Like I'm so glad that I was drawn so much to comedy and I wasn't so much drawn to like action because like
Sure.
you just can't do it on like the budget I have.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, no, I mean that's what's
Yeah.
yeah, I mean like you said it like the comedy and like the style of comedy that I'm working with and like Lifeguards like exists more or less in the same universe
Pretty
and
much. Yeah,
like
it's very
it's
grounded.
yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
like you're just not going to need a ton of money.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
was. I think it was just like they. I think there were a lot of like favors in there too. If I remember correctly, it was like his. Well, I probably shouldn't say much about that. Actually, never mind. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to him as well. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely part of the industry is who you know, and
Yeah.
he had connections with the country club, which
Yeah.
build a relationship with them. They like him and trust him enough to make a movie there, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. With the three comedy features you've worked on, is
Mhm.
there anything you've noticed that like makes the comedy work, especially?
It's always the cast.
Hmm.
It like Ride to Nowhere was a weird one because he made that like on weekends between work. He didn't, Johnny set out like 3-ish weeks for Lifeguards to like
Hmm.
dedicate all of his time to shooting that.
Hmm.
Anthony just like had like Saturdays and Sundays picked out to shoot these scenes with people that he knew were going to be in town for like a year and a half.
Hmm.
But even then they got actors that just got a lot. They just clicked immediately, especially the
Hmm.
Lifeguards. Um, yeah, a good chunk of them already knew each other from Bowling Green.
Hmm.
They just happened to cast a lot of people from BGSU.
Yeah.
And then the other people that came in were just like so like just like so charismatic and likable, and
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody
I mean,
meshed.
I know like it was a very strong cast and strong
Mhm.
directing. Charles really stuck out to me. I mean,
Mhm.
he's got it.
Yeah,
Like the same like how like Ben Arms like has it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just have like it's not easy to do and like they definitely just like understand the
Oh yeah,
craft
he's
of it.
it seems like he's of all the like the Toledo regulars, he understands like the ethic the most. He knows how it works. At least a while back. Recently, now with the Toledo Talent Agency, that's people are getting more educated on that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me about these projects. You got three in the works, correct?
Um, I mean, kinda. I'm just writing them right now.
Okay.
Uh, I think we talked before we started rolling. I just dedicated so much time to not relaxing that I needed to take a break from things, but I'm
Hmm.
still gonna write.
Yeah.
I just haven't done it in a while because like September was so packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah. Anyway, that's a whole long story, but yeah, now that
Hmm.
now that things have dialed back, I'm gonna probably find some coffee shops on the weekends ahead in the morning and just
Hmm.
the script's already pretty much banged out. I just need to tighten them up, fix them up. One of them I definitely need to. I just want to just like rewrite over and over and over again because there's
Yeah.
there's one there's one in there I definitely like want to. I want to take them all seriously, but that's the one that I need it to look the best.
Hmm.
But yeah, so the I got two that are comedies. Um, I don't want to say too much. I
Okay, yeah,
especially
fair
don't want to
enough.
say too much about the I don't want to say too much about the second one because it's anyway. Um, but yeah, the I guess the third and the fourth one I'll talk about. The third one's like some sort of like dystopian satire that with hot dogs. It's supposed to be bizarre and like what does it mean and stuff like that. So and and at this point I'm like, is it going to be actually good? But I've already dedicated like four different drafts to this script in like
Hmm.
a few different formats. It was originally going to be like a 3D animation thing,
Hmm.
in the style of like a PlayStation 1 horror game. It's live action now. Fuck it. Um, so yeah, at this point, it's like, is it going to be any good? I don't care. I need to just make the thing. So that one's got a lot
Yeah,
of
I'm a huge proponent of just making your stuff.
yeah. So yeah, that one's just got a lot of prep work. Like I said, I got to make those props.
Hmm.
I gotta find like specific gun props. I need to
Hmm.
print out like probably like 12 posters about like propaganda about eating hot dogs. And then yeah. So and then the other one's the funeral. And I don't know how to describe that one other than I kind of want it in the style of the Bear or a Safdie Brothers movie
Hmm.
where it's all very naturalistic people talking over each other and a lot of handheld and a lot of that. But that's the last one I'm going to make because I want to like fuck up on the first three and learn
Yeah,
from those before I go into that one.
yeah, definitely make your
Um,
favorite one last. I'm a
yeah,
proponent of that. Yeah.
yeah, and that one definitely needs like I need like a good chunk of extras because it's got to be like it's got to look like a real funeral. I need to
Yeah.
so I need extras. I need good performances. I need good camera work. I just it just needs to be good all around. There's probably going to be a lot of like post work with audio. I can only imagine like if you ever watch the credits for like Uncut Gems, like look at how many like people worked on the audio for that film.
Hmm.
It's just all over the place. It's
Hmm.
crazy. But yeah, I really want to like bang out some stuff. I've haven't been I haven't been the guy that made the film in a while, since like shit, dude, 2019.
Hmm.
So I've just attached myself to other projects and gotten to know people, and now it's like it's like I scratched their back, now they scratch mine. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know,
hell
but
yeah.
I'm getting a lot of encouragement from the people I've worked with already, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Probably not gonna do anything until like January next year though, because I'm so tired. I
Yeah,
gotta,
right
I gotta,
on.
I gotta,
Yeah.
I got like a full time real job, so
Yeah.
I just need weekends off still.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no,
Mm.
I mean, no, I love it. I say, yeah, go out and make your stuff. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
I'm disappointed in how it turned out, but hey, I made the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that like failing and being, I mean, there's always going to be things like in my
Trying and failing is
projects where
better than not doing it all, right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just what leads to growth for the next project. It's like if you never made that project, then the next one that was better never would have been better if you just
Mhm.
started out with that one because you never would have learned.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all for it. And like I said, yeah, you want that mic, have at it. The
Yeah,
Sennheiser.
yeah. I'll probably take you up on that. I'll hit you up when the time comes.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
Um, yeah, so just starting to wrap things up. Some questions that I ask all my guests: if there's one writer and/or director that you could work with, who would it be?
You'd think I'd just immediately say Edgar Wright.
Why not? He's
But
great.
yeah, like if it's like the Edgar Wright Simon Pegg writing combo,
Hmm.
writing directing combo, and then get Nick Frost in there too. But I really like Edgar Wright when he's with Simon Pegg. Just like they kill it every time, especially nothing like I mean like Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho are great, but when Simon Pegg's also in the mix, whew, so good. And Yeah. So I would probably have to say them.
Hmm.
Uh, or at least work on their sets.
Yeah.
I would probably he's like James Gunn would be another one, but he's a little too big now. I would say like back in the day, like
Hmm.
even when he was like doing Guardians of the Galaxy 2, that I
Hmm.
would I would want to be on that and check it out.
Yeah.
But it's like I guess it would be interesting to see like the massive scale of the budget that he's got for the DC movies coming up.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's because I didn't realize I had my shot, but I took eeny meeny. I could have tried to get on. I had a buddy. He got on the Cleveland stuff for Superman.
Oh wow.
That was going on at the end of June. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, he showed me some stuff, and it's like, first of all, they were on location, and they actually altered the location like on set. And I was like, that's pretty respectable because it's
yeah.
pretty. Everything looks like Shark Boy and Lava Girl at the moment in the superhero realm.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah. No, good answer. Yeah.
yeah. But Edgar Wright, let's go Edgar Wright. That one,
Edgar Wright's great.
I
Last
love
Night
him.
in Soho is definitely my favorite film of whatever year it came out. I want to say 2021. Could have been
What's that?
2022.
I think
But
I think it was 21. I think it was October. Yeah, because it was supposed to come out in 2020, and
uh-huh.
then October 2021 was like it's like they pretty much gauged it was going to be safe to go back to theaters, so he
Yeah,
set it
and
for
then it
that. Yeah,
bombed because yeah,
yeah, then is yeah,
unfortunately, because it's such a great film.
yeah.
And then
Everybody I've
one,
shown it to likes it.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
One performer that you would like to work with.
Oh man, performer. Simon Pegg. Fuck it. Let's.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah, I just never realized how much I love that man until I saw that picture of him DJing recently.
All right, and
Yeah,
then last one, top five comedy movies of all time.
Hot Fuzz number one for sure.
Okay.
Uh, I mean they're mostly it's fuck. So I need that. I'm gonna try to mix it up. Um, Everything Ever All at Once. We calling that a comedy?
Let's see, I did not laugh at all, but I feel like the
Even
average
when he
person.
shoved the thing in his butt.
Nah, I don't know. I wasn't. I actually I liked the movie, but
Yeah, yeah.
I did not connect with the sense of humor. I sure. I think that I think it's supposed to be a comedy, so
It's
I'll give
part
it to you.
comedy. It's part yeah. Because I mean, it's not. It's just not like a. It's not just like explicitly like exclusively a comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
I
that
did.
one.
I did not like Christian using Glorious Bastards, but I feel like
Sure.
everything everywhere all at once is definitely like supposed to be a comedy, and like Inglorious Bastards, it's like it has funny moments, but it's supposed to be
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah. Right.
drama.
Uh, yeah. So we got okay. Got those two. Oh man, I'm on the spot here. I could say Scott Pilgrim, but again, that's like I like this list could literally just be like Hot Fuzz, Everything Ever All at Once, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, World's End. Like I could just do
That's fine.
that,
I mean,
but
if those are your actual five favorites, let's do it. Let's
I
roll.
could also just to add a little variety. The What We Do in the Shadows film, Taika Waititi's What We Do in the Shadows mockumentary film, is great. It's so good. His indie stuff, his indie comedies are I love them.
I'm
I
not
love them.
familiar with this one, but
Oh yeah, check that out. Check out Hunt for the Wilder People.
uh,
Yeah, those movies pretty much what got him onto Thor Ragnarok. Pretty much, that was when they were like just getting indie directors for no
yeah,
reason.
uh huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
that's so we've done 9 of these, and we've gotten 45 different movies. No one has repeated a title.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nobody went for Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead in them. All right,
Mm-mm. No.
cool. I'll
Yeah.
I'll take that with pride.
Yeah. No, I love the variety.
Yeah,
I am disappointed that no one said Wedding Crashers, but
I haven't seen it.
oh no.
I was in a strictly no R-rated movie household,
So was
and
I.
I think that was so, and I never like went back and watched the R-rated movies I missed out on. Like I still haven't seen Saw, I got a
that's a
friend.
really good movie.
Yeah, I got a friend that wants to like kill me over that. But
No,
so
that's a damn good movie. No, yeah,
yeah,
I wasn't. I was never allowed to watch those either, and like I like watched them all. Like,
yeah. Your story was like 2020.
yeah,
Pandy hit. You
yeah,
just started like you took an interest.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I get that.
No.
Yeah, that's that was me recently with 80s sci-fi, especially
Okay.
Verhoeven.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with Total Recall, RoboCop, and Starship Troopers. That's 90s, but fuck it, whatever.
All right. Well, it was
Yeah.
great catching up with you, and
Same, dude.
yeah, thank you for coming on. And yeah, I mean, it won't be too long before we talk again.
Hell yeah.